Thank you for all the comments on the travel time debacle. What an eye opener that is. I haven't been living under a bush. I've just never worked for an organisation that runs like that, where you're getting all these bookings, double booking, quadruple bookings all at the same time, and you've just got to do what you can do to get everything done, and you're having to really use that allocated time for those people to travel to the next, and so on and so on and so on. And I'm on your side because, what are you supposed to do? And if companies are saying, don't cut your time short, well, that doesn't make any sense, does it? But the reality is we shouldn't be cutting time short. The reality is we should have enough time for people. The reality is we should be thinking about time critical calls. We should be not being under this level of pressure, I've always worked for companies who you do have allocated times, and not that the travel time was always right. Sometimes it was an absolute balls up, and it could differ from day to day. You'd have better days than others, and some days it'd be an easy run and other days it wouldn't. But that again would depend on staffing levels and all sorts of reasons why that can go tits up. And the reality is you were out a lot longer than you were getting paid for. You were getting mileage, but mileage is, I suppose you should be grateful for something, but what a joke mileage is, really. And that price will vary across from company to company and across the country. I imagine you probably get paid more mileage down south than you do up north, and so on and so forth. And the reality is the system is just fucked. It's burning care workers out. Clients are not getting what they need. Things are going very wrong, as we know, and I know from some of the messages I get. And yeah, I'm on your side. I am. I have started a petition. I'll try and link it, just so that the reality is we need to get paid for the whole time we're out. That's it. It's not that complicated. And I know, there will be companies out there and say we don't have the money to do that. But there are companies that do, but they've got very good accounts, so you'd never know that. That's the problem. And local authorities say don't get enough money off the government, and so on and so forth. So you do feel like you bang your head against a brick wall. But why should we be doing this all the time? Why should you be doing this all the time? Why should clients miss out? The way I look at it, whether they're private paying or they're not, people that are funded for whatever reason, partially or fully, ultimately they've contributed to the system at some point in their lives. So in my eyes, everyone's paying.